So let's begin once again. So this time, we're going to cover the macroscopic state of the system. So last time, na-cover na natin yung introduction to statistical mechanics. And nakapag-derive na rin tayo. Na-derive na natin yung Boltzmann distribution. You already know what a Boltzmann factor is. And alam niyo na rin kung ano yung partition function. So we're going to redo those derivations again. However, this time, i-consider na natin yung multiplicity or yung degeneracy ng mga energy levels. So, in thermodynamics, meron tayong tinatawag na macroscopic state and microscopic state. So, thermodynamics is actually lahat ng mga variables na na-encounter nyo sa thermodynamics is trying to describe the macroscopic state of the system. Bakit kaya? So, for instance, yung pressure. Ano ba yung pressure? Force per unit area. So, if you have a container, let's say, a cubic container filled with gases, and you put a measuring instrument, let's say a thermometer inside your container, ano mangyayari doon sa container? Ano mangyayari doon sa measuring instrument? Magkakaroon siya ng record ng temperature. Isang temperature value lang ang makuha mo. However, bawat molecule sa loob ng container, meron siyang magkakaibang temperature. Kumbaga, may distribution pa rin ng temperature. May distribution ng temperature. And actually, malalaman nyo or maaaring alam nyo na temperature is actually the measure of the average kinetic energy. So, yung container mo, meron siyang distribution ng temperature, yung mga atoms doon. Pero ang average ng temperature niya yun yung mag-a-appear doon sa inyong measuring instrument. So, temperature is a macroscopic property. How about pressure? Ganun din, pag naglagay ka ng pressure sensor sa loob ng container, magre-record lang din siya ng isang pressure. Pero in reality, is the molecule, they move at different velocities. And since molecules are moving at different velocities, bawat isa doon magkakaiba yung kanyang force. Kasi force is mass times acceleration. And the pressure encountered sa loob ng isang container is the force exerted by the molecule to the walls of the container. Similarly, all of the thermodynamic properties you have learned so far are used to describe the macroscopic system. Ngayon, ano ba yung statistical mechanics? Statistical mechanics provides the bridge between macroscopic state and microscopic state. So, yung microscopic state usually considering yung motions ng mga molecules. Mas detailed yung description ng microscopic state. So, ang ginagawa ng statistical mechanics is provide the bridge between macroscopic and microscopic state. Kasi yung microscopic state is basically usually siya ay part ng part ng quantum mechanics o kaya ng molecular dynamics. So, for the macroscopic system, meron tayong mga properties that are referred to as mechanical properties. Yung mga mechanical properties are pressure, volume, number of moles, internal energy, and enthalpy. They are mechanical properties kasi you don't need temperature to describe them. They might vary with temperature, pero in definition nila does not involve the concept of temperature. On the other hand, meron tayong non-mechanical properties. Those are the variables that requires temperature in their definition. So, yung temperature itself requires temperature. Yung S is dQ over T. Yung Helmholtz free energy requires temperature in its definition, as well as heat free energy and chemical potential. So, those are the non-mechanical properties. And once again, as I told you already, statistical mechanics averages over all the microscopic description of the macroscopic system and shows how the thermodynamic properties depends on the properties of individual atoms or molecules. So, classical mechanics require 6n coordinates for description. Sa 6n na yun, nandun na yung mga coordinates and velocity components. And you need to track you need to track yung changes ng coordinates as a function of time. So classical mechanics, naman, the microstate in the system is described in principle by specifying the total wave function psi of the n particles. Yung classical mechanics, usually, it is related to molecular dynamics. So classical mechanics and quantum mechanics can both handle, can both be used to describe the microstates. So a given thermodynamic state of a system does not correspond to a particular microscopic state. Bakit kaya? Kasi once again, yung thermodynamic state is working in the macroscopic world. And the macroscopic world, for a particular macroscopic world, marami kang possible microstate. So let's say parehas yung pressure ng dalawang container. Two container of the same pressure. It does not necessarily mean na yung microstate sa isang container is the same sa microstate sa kabilang container. So a system in a given macroscopic state can be in any one of a very large number of microscopic states that all have the same macroscopic properties. Now, let's continue talking about counting. Counting in the sense na we want to count yung combinations. So last time, gumamit tayo ng W, which is the number of ways. Now, gagamit tayo ng omega. Pero this omega, i-define ko siya later. So omega is the number of microstates in a macrostate. So based on the Pauli exclusion principle, we found that there are two types of particles with respect to spin. Fermions have integral spins and bosons have integral spins. So yung fermions ay may antisymmetric wave function. For now, hindi pa siguro na-imagine ko ano wave function. We're going to talk about that in the next lecture. Bosons naman, meron siyang symmetric wave functions. So that is why we need to consider yung microstates. Kasi even those simple differences can introduce multiplicity or variability in the number of microstates. So the number of ways W of distributing n distinguishable particles between the Barrow's level with n0 particle having energy E0, Ni particles having energy Ei, and so on is defined in the following formula. Na-cover natin to before. Last meeting, this is called the multinomial coefficient. And if you introduce this pi, pwede mo itong masimplify into pi sub I and sub I factorial. So product siya ng factorial ng occupancy ng mga energy levels. So let's say meron tayong mga energy level. E0, E1, E2, E3. Kung gaano karami ang laman ito, so N0, dito meron tayong 4 sa E0, meron 4 sa E1, isa sa E2, and isa sa E3. So that is what is meant here. Now, how many ways can we distribute particles in energy levels? So if we have 4 energy levels and we have one particle, how many ways can we distribute one particle in 4 energy levels? Of course, only 4, right? How about 2 particles? How many ways can we distribute 2 particles in 4 energy levels? This can be answered by using the combination formula. We have 4 energy levels. We are choosing 2, or this is equivalent to 4 choose 2, right? However, meron tayong generalization dyan. Ito na nga yung multinomial coefficient, number of ways of distributing n particles in different energy levels. So the Ni distinguishable particles in a level with the degeneracy Gi can be arranged. So ito na, we also need degeneracy. Kasi energy levels are not like this in reality. So, kung naalala nyo, pinag-aralan nyo siguro sa General Chemistry, 1s, 1s. Makabuo ka ng dalawa. Or kung p orbital, hindi ko na masyadong tanda. So, baka mali ako. So, meaning to say, may degeneracy. Merong mga energy levels na parehas yung energy. We can depict it in the following way. Kumbaga, so ito, and this is they are degenerate. So, kapag may degeneracy yung energy level, Ni distinguishable particles in a level with degeneracy Gi can be arranged in Gi raised to Ni ways. Therefore, you have to multiply this Gi raised to Ni to this W. So, ito yung W multiplied by the multiplicity or degeneracy. That is now our definition for omega dis. Number of microstate in a macrostate. So, of course, we know that N is a summation of Ni, where Ni is the number of particles in a particular energy level I, and U is the summation of the energies, number of particles in a particular energy level multiplied by the energy. That gives us internal energy. So let's talk about the microscopic state based on the multiplicity. So let's say meron tayong 3 degenerate energy levels. 1, 2, 3. And meron tayong 2 particles. Ngayon, araw lang ginamit ko, pero think of it as a particle. So, meron tayong particle na distinguishable, kaya magkaiba yung kulay, green and blue. So, how many ways can we distribute this particle into 3 energy levels? So, of course, you can put them together in one of the energy level. So, the number of ways of doing such, like magkadikit sila, is only 3. Nasa first, nasa second, or nasa third. Ngayon, pag magkahiwalay sila, so yung green nasa 1, yung blue nasa 2, yung green nasa 1, yung blue nasa 3. Then nilagay ko naman sa 2 yung green. Blue nasa 3, yung green nasa 2, yung blue nasa 1. And yung green naman dinala ko sa 3. Yung green nasa 3, yung blue nasa 1, yung green nasa 3, yung blue nasa 2. Dapat blue pala itong isa. Ito blue dapat to. So there are 9 ways. And that is actually consistent with this formula. Gi, number of degenerate energy level. So we have 3. And number of particles, meron tayong 2. So 3 squared is 9. So that is what is meant here. So ang formula natin, nagkaroon ka lang ng Gi raised to Ni. And then we are about to derive the same set of formulas we found last week. Now considering degeneracy. So this is the formula that we have in the previous slide. Omega dis is n factorial pi sub I multiplied by, or pi sub I of G sub I raised to Ni over Ni factorial. So this is the number of ways distinguishable particles can be assigned to energy state for a given set of Ni values. Pag yun natin yung natural logarithm nitong function na to, so we will have ln ng omega dis is now using properties of natural logarithm. This is a product. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng ln factorial plus ln ito. Pero, ano ba yung ln ng pi? alam natin na yung pi of xi, pag kinuha mong ln yan, I equals 1 to n, this will become, since this one is x1, x2, x3, hanggang, let's say 4, x4. Pag kinuha mong ln ito, you will have ln ng pi xi is ln ng x1 plus ln ng x2 plus ln ng x3 plus ln ng x4. Right? So, naging summation siya. So, this is just summation of ln ng xi where I goes from 1 to 4. So, this part, ano mangyari dyan? Sa part na yan, magiging summation. ln ng gi raised to ni over ni factorial. Pero para siya naging ganito, ginamit lang natin yung properties of logarithm ulit. Ano yung properties of logarithm na ginamit natin? Yung ln ng x over y is ln x minus ln y. So, you can write this down as summation ng ln, actually, ln ng gi raised to ni minus ni factorial. Pero i-distribute natin yung summation sign. Actually, kamukha na pala siya. So, yan na yun. So, I hope nasusundan nyo yung derivation natin. Now, from this row up to the next row, anong ginawa natin? Ginamit lang ulit natin properties of logarithm. Yung ln ng x raised to a is a ln x. So, yung ni dito, napunta sa harap, ni, ln ng gi. Similar to this. And ang ginawa natin dito, we use the Stirling approximation. Ang ln ng n factorial sa Stirling approximation is n, ln ng n minus n. So, yung ln ng ni factorial will be ni, ln ng ni minus ni. Pero, since ito is negative, magiging minus to. Ito minus, ito plus. So, that is why we have here negative ni, ln ng ni plus ni. Negative ni, ln ng ni plus ni. So, I hope that's clear. So, how about the next row? This one. Pinag-combine ko lang ito. Pinactor out ko yung ni. Ni multiply by ln ng gi minus ln ng ni plus ni. And then, pinasama ko to using properties of logarithm. Ito ay equivalent sa ln ng gi over ni. So, we have ni, ln ng gi over ni plus ni. So, that is what we have here. Ni, ln ng gi over ni plus ni. And then, distribute natin yung summation sign. Ano mangyayari pag distribute yung summation sign? So, nagkaroon lang ng summation sign ito. Ito na siya. How about ito? Meron lang din siyang summation sign. However, we know that summation ng ni, this is n. So, since that is n, nag-cancel na siya dito. What is left is this part, n, ln ng n, and this part is this. So, yung ln ng omega this can now be written as n ln ng n plus summation ng quantity ni ln ng gi over ni. So for very large n, it can be shown that only the microstate with the larger omega makes an effective contribution to the sum omega prime plus omega double prime, etc. So don't mind this statement for now. We're gonna get back to that sa susunod na mga derivations. So for now, try to remember about this. Try to remember this equation and the following relationship, because we're going to use this as constraint in entropy maximization. I-maximize ulit natin yung entropy just like last time. However, this time we are considering yung degeneracy. So to find the maximum omega, the first step is to express the condition that for ln ng omega is maximized and the two constraints are in differential form. So this is the equation that we have in the previous slide. Then, i-maximize natin siya. So what do we have here? This is like a total differential. So we know that ln ng omega ds is a function of ni. So we can write in total differential ng ln ng omega ds as partial derivative ng ln ng omega ds with respect to ni. dni. However, ni can be maraming possible ni, right? Ano yung possible ni? n1, n2, n3, and so forth. So, magiging summation na siya. Kaya may summation sign dito. This is the usual total differential. Setting total differential to 0 to find either maxima or minima. Bakit? Kasi yung extremum points is kapag ang derivative is equal to 0, you are already at the extremum points. Kaya equate natin siya sa 0. So recall that dn, we know that n is summation of ni. Pag kinuha mo ang derivative nito, makukuha mo dn. That will also give you summation of dni. Eh, ang n is constant. Nagbabago-bago, lumilipat lang naman siya ng energy level eh. So, this summation is equal to 0. Similarly, yung du, due to conservation of energy, du is equal to summation of ei dni is also 0. Those are the constraints that we're going to use in this objective optimization. But actually, we're doing the same technique just like last week. So this is using Lagrange multiplier. So sa Lagrange multiplier, gumagamit tayo ng mga undetermined multiplier. We have here 2, alpha and beta. So the function we want to optimize is this. We want to maximize omega ds or ln ng omega ds. Now, subject to the following constraint. Since this is 0 and since this is 0, wala naman talaga silang effect. Pero putting them in as a penalty in the objective optimization, these two introduces constraint in the optimization. So our final function will be this summation ng partial derivative ng ln ng omega ds with respect to ni dni plus alpha, summation ng dni minus beta, summation ng ei dni. And then last sila may dni. We can collect them together. Nasa labas yung dni. And this should be equal to 0. Bakit equal to 0? Kasi nga, we want to find yung extremum points. So this one supposedly equal to 0 kasi gusto natin hanapan yung extremum points. And we know that this is 0 anyway. So something 0 plus something 0 plus something 0 is equal to 0. Pero, kailan lang siya magsi-0? Kapag na-maximize na yung omega Ds. And in that maximization, naging constraint itong energy and naging constraint din itong number of particles. So this is what we have in the previous slide. Ngayon, dividing both sides by dni, nawala lang yung dni dito. And then, anong ginawa natin? So, this is our original definition of omega Ds. ln ng omega Ds, this quantity. So, we're going to apply, we're going to use this, we're going to evaluate this partial derivative to this ln ng omega Ds definition. So, to do that, ang ginawa ko, kinuha ko yung derivative nito. So, i-differentiate ko to with respect to So, ano yung derivative? Derivative ng n ln ng n. Ang n ln ng n, derivative niya is 0. Bakit? Kasi n is summation of ni. Right? And this is constant. Summation ng ni is constant. So, yung derivative niya is 0. How about this part? Ang derivative nito is, we need to use the product rule. Ni muna times derivative ng ln ng gi over ni plus ln ng gi over ni derivative ng ni. So, ano yung derivative ng ln ng gi over ni? Ang derivative ng ln is ln x is 1 over x. So, derivative ng ln ng gi over ni is 1 over gi over ni or ni over gi. Plus, ang derivative ng ni is just 1, right? So, hindi pa pala tapos itong part na to. Kasi may dx pa itong kasama. I-differentiate pa natin itong x. Let me write it in a clearer way. Baka kasi merong malito. So, ito is u and b. D ng u, b, plus b. So, meron tayong ni. Derivative ng ln ng gi over ni plus ln ng gi over ni. Derivative ng ni. So, pero ito, ang derivative kasi ng ln x is 1 over x dx. Ito may kulang pa dito. So, isulat ko lang mas maayos. May kulang pa. Ni derivative ng ln ng gi over ni. So that will give us ni. 1 over x is ni over gi. And derivative ng x, that is negative gi over ni squared. Pero kailangan natin mag-apply ng dni. unevaluated. So, plus ln ng GI over NI DNI. And then, if I factor out ko yung DNI na yon, the result is this. NI over GI, and this GI over NI squared, and this ln ng GI over NI. Nandito sa labas yung DNI. So, what's next? Ito, magka-cancel ito, saka ito. And magka-cancel din pala to. So, itong DNI na lang yung matitira. Kaya meron dito negative summation ng DNI. And this part is there. Summation ng ln ng GI over NI and then DNI. So, I hope that's clear. Yung naging result ng derivation. So, statistical mechanics is actually highly mathematical. But once na matry nyo siya and mag-derive kayo on your own, magiging familiar din kayo sa statistical mechanics. So, we just have to divide this equation by DNI. Pero before we do that, meron tayo ditong term na summation ng DNI. That term, bakit kaya? NI. And DN is summation ng DNI. Ang DNI, 0. So this term goes away. So what we are left with is this and this. So DL and omega this is summation ng ln GI over NI, DNI. And dividing this by NJ, DNJ, ang ginamit. DNJ. Anong nangyari? Bakit siya naging ganito? Let's check that out. DLN ng omega Ds, DNJ, is equal to summation ng ln ng GI over NI, DNI respect to DNJ. So this derivative is 0 everywhere except for when I is equal to J. When I is equal to J, doon lang siya hindi maging 0. Therefore, itong summation na to, mawawala. Ang matitira lang is ln ng GJ, NJ. Bakit kaya? I'm gonna give you a similar problem. Kung meron kayong F is equal to summation of xi DNI. Like x1, x2, dn2, that's that. Let's say, i-differentiate mo yung F with respect to x2. Anong sagot dito sa first term? 0. Sa second term? N2 pala, N2. Sa second term, x2. Kasi dn2 over respect to n2 is 1. Plus everything else is 0. So, mawawala talaga yung summation. Matitira lang is yung variable ng differentiation. Yung variable, yung index kung alin yung denominator, yung variable of differentiation, yung index nun. Siya lang yung matitira. Kaya dito, when I divide this equation by D and J, of course, yung left hand side is still the same, pero ito, nawala yung summation sign. Ang natira lang ay ln ng GJ over NJ. Kasi, 0 elsewhere except when I is equal to J. So, what's next? We're going to use this in place of this. Take note na although j ang ginamit kong variable dito, since dito is I, pwede ko naman palitan din ng I to. You can write this down as partial ng ln ng omega d's with respect to ni is equal to ln ng gi over ni. Maring itanong nyo, bakit hindi agad I ang ginamit natin? Kasi misleading yon. Kapag I ang ginamit mo, you are making sure that this dni will become 1. Iba yung sagot.
Ingay!
Pero yung I kasi, pag i-divide mo to by dni, you are constraining this I and this I to be equal, pero hindi naman talaga ganon. You can divide it by any ni where these two index are not the same. Kaya nj ang ginamit. So we can use this, substitute this above here. So pwede natin palitan ng ln ng gi over nj, pero since I yung variable dito, gi over ni ang gagamitin natin. So we have here ln ng gi over ni from this. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng ln ng gi over ni plus alpha minus beta ei. So I hope that's clear. Although medyo, kumbaga, maaring nakakalito ng derivation. Now, what's next? Tinanggalan natin yung summation. So the assumption is each of this term is equal to 0, and that is what makes this summation equal to 0. So we're going to use this equation in the next slide. This is the equation, ln ng gi over ni plus alpha minus beta ei is equal to 0. So, kumukuha lang tayo dito ng expression for ni. Alpha minus beta ei is now ln ng ni over gi. Paano ginawa yun? So, meron tayong alpha minus beta ei is equal to negative ln ng gi over ni. And tinanggal ko itong negative sign, babaguhin ko rin siya. Para mula yung negative sign, pagbaliktarin ko lang itong ni and gi. Kumbaga, ln ng a over b is negative ln ng b over a. And from there, we can derive yung ni. So, we can raise e raised to alpha minus beta ei is now equal to ni over gi. And from this equation, you can write ni is gi multiplied by e raised to alpha minus beta ei. So, what is this equation? Actually, in the set of the following derivations, makukuha lang din natin nakuha natin last week, except that we have the degeneracy gi. So, we know that n is a summation ng ni, and ni is this. So, yung summation ng ni can be written as summation ng gi e raised to alpha minus beta ei. And in this summation, lahat ng may I is yung gi lang, at saka ei yung may I. So, pwede natin ilabas yung e raised to alpha. Bakit pwede ilabas yung e raised to alpha? Kasi this one is n summation ng gi e raised to alpha e raised to negative beta ei. Bakit pwedeng paghiwalayin yung e? Kasi we know that EAB EA plus B is equal to EA, EB. Kaya yung E alpha minus beta EI can be written as E alpha multiplied by E raised to negative beta EI. So, pinag-iwalay ko sila. Then, I can put yung E raised to alpha sa harap. So, here I have the E raised to alpha. And then, sa loob ng summation lang ng GI, E raised to negative beta EI. And we already know this quantity. This is the partition function. So, last week, alam natin na yung Q is summation ng E raised to negative beta over beta EI, or we know that beta is 1 over KT. So, Q is summation ng E raised to negative EI over KT. Ang kaibahan lang ngayon, merong degeneracy ng energy level. So, it's still the same partition function, except that now we are considering yung degeneracy. So, N can be written as E raised to alpha multiplied by the partition function. So, the definition of partition function now includes the multiplicity or in degeneracy. This is called the molecular partition function. So, we will also arrive with the same Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. So, from this equation, we can write it down as E raised to alpha is N over Q. E raised to alpha is over Q. And we have this equation here. Ni is equal to Gi E raised to alpha minus beta EI. Ngayon, nilabas ko lang ulit itong E raised to alpha. N sub I is E raised to alpha Gi E raised to negative beta EI. But E raised to alpha is N over Q. So this E raised to alpha naging N over Q. Kaya Ni is now N over Q Gi E raised to negative beta EI. This is the Boltzmann distribution. So this is the Boltzmann factor. And this one is the multiplicity or degeneracy. Bakit siya Boltzmann distribution? Last week, ang definition natin ng Boltzmann distribution is probability. Is 1 over Q summation ng E raised to negative EI over KT. It's the same as this, except that GI, may GI lang siya dito. Bakit the same? Kasi you can divide this by N. And that will give us P sub I is now equals to 1 over Q GI E raised to negative beta EI. So this is the most probable distribution. For macroscopic system, the fluctuation away from the most probable distribution is negligible. So paki-remember na lang to. However, it's innate in this equation. So now, we're going to evaluate yung alpha and beta again. Anyway, na-eliminate natin yung E raised to alpha. Naging N over Q na siya. So we don't have to mind about E raised to alpha anymore. We need to mind about beta. Pero alam natin yung beta, we will end up with 1 over KT. Pero for the sake of review na rin ng inyong derivation last week. So to evaluate for beta, we know that du is TdS minus PdB. And we also know that U is summation ng Ni multiplied by EI. Bakit kaya? Kasi nga, yung mga energy levels na populate lang naman siya by particles. And yung total energy will be ilan yung particles na nag-occupy ng particular energy level multiplied by the energy of the energy level. So it's just a sum. So if we take the derivative of U, we will have du is product rule. Ni derivative ng dEI plus EI derivative ng dNi. So, nandun pa rin lang yung summation sign. Addition of heat to a gas changes the population of energy levels. So, we need to look at the resemblance between these two equations. This one and this one. Pareha silang two-term equations sa right-hand side. So, there must be a general correspondence between the two. Addition of heat to a gas changes the population of energy levels, diba? Nagsuswap, nagkakaroon ka ng swapping ng energy levels kapag nag-introduce ka ng heat. Alin ba yung nagbabagong energy occupancy? Nagbabagong occupancy dito. DNI eh. So, TDS is equivalent to summation ng EI, DNI. Performance of work on the gas changes the volume, which in turn changes the energy levels. So, yung negative PdV is equivalent sa summation ng NI, DEI. Na-cover din natin ito before when we are talking about the particle in a box. So, this is also covered in lecture related. From a microscopic point of view, the equilibrium state of a system of particles NU and V is state. So I'm not going to talk about this anymore because this is just telling us that we can associate yung omega or yung number of microstate to the entropy. And the only function that satisfies the following constraint is the natural logarithm or logarithm. So we will end up with S is equal to KLN ng omega, which is the same as what we have in the previous lecture. So to evaluate beta, this time, itutuloy lang natin yung lecture just for review. So we know that ds is dq reversible over t, and we have here s. So ds can be written as k derivative ng ln ng omega. Pero alam natin na yung derivative ng ln ng omega in the previous slides is summation ng ln ng gi over ni dni. So nandito yan sa previous lecture. Previous slide. So, since we have this, itong ds, k, dl, ln ng omega, papatalangan itong dl ng omega with this quantity. ds will now be k, summation ng ln ng gi over ni dni. So, let's keep it here for the minute. We also know from the Boltzmann distribution that ni is equal to n over q gi e raised to negative beta ei. And dividing, anong ginawa ko dito? Algebraic manipulation ito. We can write yung gi over ni. So gi over ni, ito yon, is equivalent to, of course, ilalagay mo to sa right hand side. Q, ito bababa, ito rin bababa. So gi over ni is q over n times 1 over e raised to negative beta ei. So kung hindi natin yung mga arrows ko, try na lang itong i-derive on your own. Or gawin ko ba, you can crossification is equal to n gi e raised to negative beta ei, and divide both sides by ni, we will have q is equal to n gi over ni times e raised to negative beta ei, and then divide both sides by this and this, you will have q over n times 1 over e raised to negative beta ei is gi over ni. That is this equation. kung gusto mo itong tanggalin, yung negative sign, you can write it down as Gi over Ni is Q over N e raised to positive beta Ei. So, we can substitute itong Gi over Ni into this. And we will end up with ds is K summation of Ni Q over N e raised to positive beta Ei, and then this dni is still here. So what's next? Ano nangyari? Pinaghiwalay ko to. Since they are product under ln, so we have ln ng Q over N plus ln ng e raised to beta Ei. And since ln to ng E, pwede mo siyang tanggalin. Ang matitira lang is beta Ei. And after that, distribute the summation and itong K, and summation. We end up with K. So pinaghalo ito munang K and summation dito. And itong, so we have K, beta, summation ng Ei dni. Ito yon. So, distribute ko itong dni dito. Distribute ko rin itong summation at itong K. That gives us K beta summation ng Ei dni. And ito namang kabilang side, distribute ko rin itong K at saka itong summation. And dni, we have K summation ng ln Q over N dni. So, this is a matter of multiplication, expansion. So, ano nangyari sa next? From here to here. Since this is a constant, wala naman siyang I. Pwede ko siyang ilabas ng summation. Ilabas ko siya ng summation. However, this term goes away. Bakit? Kasi yung summation ng dni is equal to 0. Several times ko nang pinakita kanina. So this term goes away. And we end up with the following expression above here. So ds is K beta summation ng Ei dni. Pero mayroon tayong definition ng TDS kanina. In the previous slide, TDS is summation ng Ei dni. So if we equate these two expression, anong mangyayari if we equate these two expression? Papalit ko lang itong ds. Papalit ko lang siya doon. So TDS is now or baliktad pa lang ginawa ko. Ito is K. And now yung ating distribution in the GNRC, this is the Boltzmann distribution considering the GNRC. Is equal to 1 over Q Gi e raised to negative Ei over Kt. So Q is roughly equal to the number of states available to the system. So I hope na sundan yung derivation. And the next few slides is going to be interesting. We're gonna use to shape yung mga macroscopic properties to partition function. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to try to understand what is in this. So let's continue. So babalik na tayo doon sa thermodynamics part. We know that U or the internal energy is TdS minus PdB. And from statistical mechanics, alam natin na internal energy is summation ng Ni multiplied by EI based on energy level occupancy. And if we take the derivative of this, du will be summation ng Ni dEI plus summation ng EI dNi using the product rule. And in the previous slide, nakita natin na yung volume kasi nagbabago siya sa change due to the change in energy. Kung naalala niyo yung particle in the box, energy En is proportional, inversely proportional doon sa length ng box. Kaya, ang volume is related sa change ng energy. So, negative PdB is summation ng Ni dEI. And we know from the previous slide that the Boltzmann distribution can be written in terms of Ni kasi sometimes it's written in terms of Pi. So, in terms of Ni, it is N over Q Gi e raised to negative Ei over Kt. Where Q is the partition function, summation ng Gi e raised to negative Ei over Kt. If we take the derivative of the partition function, what we get is dq is summation ng Gi e raised to negative Ei over Kt. Kasi pag differentiate mo to, this is constant. Ito lang i-differentiate mo. Anong derivative ng e raised to negative Ei over Kt? Ang derivative ng e raised to u is e raised to u du. So, we have, ito yung e raised to u. So, this is e raised to u. Yung du is this. Kasi ang u natin ngayon is negative Ei over Kt. Anong derivative ng negative Ei over Kt? If yung Ei lang yung ating pinag-uusapan, at constant temperature, then the result is derivative ng negative Ei over Kt. That will just give us 1 over Kt dEI. May negative sign, kaya may negative dito. So we have negative 1 over Kt dEI. So I hope nasusundan nyo to. This is just using chain rule. So we're going to take the ratio between this quantity and this quantity. So negative PdB over dq. Over dq is, of course, this is in the numerator, and this one is in the denominator. C, something that you can, derivation, meron tayong Ni here. And Ni is this. So, itong Ni na ito, papalitan ko siya ng N over Q G I e raised to negative ei over kt. So, ang Ni na to, ito na siya. Lumabas yung N over Q. And yung G I e raised to negative ei over kt is this part. And yung summation is nandun pa rin. Lumabas na yung N over Q kasi nasa loob man siya ng nasa summation or nasa labas, the same pa rin. Kasi wala naman siyang I. Wala siyang I, kaya walang problema. Nilabas ko na siya agad. And from here, you can see that this can cancel. And pag nag-cancel siya, what do we have? What is left? So, meron tayong N over Q dito. At meron tayong negative 1 over kt. Babaliktad lang to negative 1 over kt. So, meron tayong nkt over q from this. So, negative pdb over dq is negative nkt over q. And now, pressure can be written as, tanggal to negative sign. Pressure is nkt over q multiplied by dq over db. So, at constant temperature, you can write it down as pressure is nkt, partial derivative ng ln ng q with respect to b at constant temperature. So, why is this equation important? If alam mo yung q, alam mo na yung pressure. Ano ba yung q? Ang q is partition function. Summation ng e raised to negative ei over kt. Paano natin malalaman yung q? Dapat alam mo rin yung ei. Ano yung ei? Malalaman natin yung ei sa quantum mechanics. Kasi natin ng konti yung quantum mechanics in the next lecture just to show you paano ma-derive yung ei. And after natin makita kung paano i-derive yung ei, ibibigay ko na yung energy. Energy is for for simple systems para magamit nyo. So pag alam nyo yung Q, madali nang i-calculate yung pressure. And that relates yung macro to micro. That is what is the purpose of statistical mechanics. So, merong simpler derivation for pressure. If we are to talk about pressure, pressure is force per unit area. Pressure is force per unit area. Eh, paano siya naging ganon? So, ano ba usually yung pressure? Pressure is force. Ang pressure is, mali pala, ang pressure is force per unit area. And ang force, ang unit niya is joule. Ang joule ay Newton meter. Ang area ay, let's say, meter cube. So, ano to? Para siyang Newton over, hindi, meter squared pala to. Para siyang Newton per meter. Eh, ano kaya itong dito sa kabila? Change in energy. Mali yata ako. Ang force yata is Newton lang. O tama, Newton lang. Hindi pala siya joules. At yung energy yung joules. So, energy is joule. Kung volume, meter cube. Newton, meter, and meter cube. So, Newton per meter squared. So, pareha sila ng unit. So, I hope that's convinced you that pressure is equivalent to partial derivative ng EI with respect to volume. That's the microscopic description of pressure. Eh, bakit negative? So, actually, this will be positive. The entire quantity. And kaya nilagay negative sign dyan para maging positive yung entire quantity na yan. So, let's continue. Under macroscopic description, kasi ito is microscopic description of pressure. Under macroscopic description, ang macroscopic is taking the average, right? So, paano kunin ang average? Paano ba tayo kumukuha ng average? Kung meron tayong numbers, 1, 5, 3, 8. Anong average nito? Just 1 plus 5 plus 3 plus 8 over how many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 over 4. Tama? (17 over 4). So, gawin ko na lang itong 4 para hindi mahirap. 16 over 4 or 4. So, is this formula right? Yes, it is correct. So, let's say 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3. Anong average kaya nito? Meron tayong ilang number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 numbers. So, ano yung probability of 1? Is 2 over 7. Ano yung probability ng 4? 3 over 7, right? 1, 2, 3. Ano yung probability ng 3? 2 over 7 ulit. Tingnan natin kung makuha natin yung average na gusto natin. 1 times 2 over 7 plus 3 times 2 over 7 plus 4 times 3 over 7. Equivalent kaya doon. So this will give us 2 over 7 plus 6 over 7 plus 12 over 7. That is 20 over 7. The same kaya siya ng pag-add natin to. Divide by 7. So, 4, 8, 12, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Tama. 20 over 7 din. Pag pinag-add mo to, divide mo by 7, the same lang siya. So, this formula is correct. You can take the probability, the expectation value or the average by considering the product of the sum of the product of probability multiplied by the value. Probability of that value multiplied by the value. So, I hope naging madali sa inyo itong simple example na binigay ko. Let's continue. So, we know that P sub I, the probability is 1 over Q e raised to negative EI over KT. Kung may degeneracy, may GI. Pero, for now, tagalin muna natin GI. Therefore, pressure, the average pressure, yung average pressure is the pressure na measure mo ng measuring instrument, is summation ng PI multiplied by this microscopic pressure. So we have P is now summation ng 1 over Q e raised to negative EI over KT times PI. So this is that. Kung saan pinalitan ko lang itong Pi doon. So nilabas ko lang itong 1 over Q dito sa left hand side since wala naman siyang I. So we will use this equation later. So we know that the partition function is summation ng e raised to negative ei over kt. And if we differentiate the partition function, so we will have summation ng e raised to negative ei over kt. So derivative ng e raised to u is e raised to u du. So this is e raised to u and this is du. Ang u is negative ei over kt. Ang derivative ng negative ei over kt ay negative 1 over kt dei. And then we divide both sides by dv. So dividing both sides by dv, what do we have now? dq over db lang sa left hand side. Sa right hand side, yung db kumabit lang dito sa dei. dei over db. And actually, we are supposed to impose constant temperature dito. Kasi hindi natin ginalaw itong temperature dito eh. So dq over db is, nilabas ko lang itong 1 over kt. Nandito siya sa labas ng summation. dq over dt is 1 over kt, summation ng e raised to negative ei over kt multiplied by negative dei over db. However, ano nangyari? Pinalitan ko lang ito. Itong definition niya. Kaya nagkaroon tayo dito ng pi. So dq over dt is 1 over kt summation ng e raised to negative ei over kt times pi. So these two are the same. Therefore, pwede kong palitan. Ano nangyari? Ito papalitan ko ng, ano ba itong part na to? This one is equal sa dq over db times kt, right? So this part, pinalitan ko ng dq over db times kt. Ito. Doing so, nakuha na natin yung pressure. Pressure can now be written as, pwede ko ito pagsamahin, magiging natural logarithm yan. Pressure is kt dln ng q over db. It's actually similar to what we have in the previous slide. So whichever derivation is easier for you to understand, kayo nang bahala. Eh, bakit itong isa may n, itong isa wala? Ibig sabihin lang yan, ano ibig sabihin yan? Ang pressure na makukuha mo dito is for one particle. Ang pressure na makukuha mo dito is for n particles. So let's move on to the next. Doon tayo sa internal energy naman. So we know that U is summation ng NIEI, and we also know that NI can be written as N over Q GI e raised to negative EI over KT. And ito yung NI, papalitan ko lang siya ng nito. So there are missing steps here. U can be written as summation ng NI, ito, N over Q gi e raised to negative ei over kt. And then, itong n over q, ilalabas ko doon. That is why we have it here. N over q, gi, may kulang pa dito, ei. Itong part na to. gi, ei, e raised to negative ei over kt. So, I hope nasusundan nyo pa. If the volume is constant, the energy levels of the independent particles are constant. So, anong ginawa ko dito? This is just the definition of the partition function. I-differentiate ko yung definition ng partition function. So, dq over dt is at constant volume is just this summation multiplied by derivative of e raised to negative ei over kt. Yung derivative na yan is e raised to u, and derivative ng u is this. Ngayon, ang differentiation is with respect to t. Kaya naging negative 1 over kt squared. So, partial ng q with respect to t at constant volume is now, nilabas ko itong 1 over kt squared doon. And itong negative 1 na ito, nag-cancel siya dito. So, 1 over kt squared summation ng gi, ei, e raised to negative ei over kt. So, to simplify, multiply ko lang ito ng q over q. It doesn't really matter, except that this one can be now be written as natural logarithm. So, naging q siya, multiply by partial ng ln q with respect to t at constant volume, is equal to 1 over kt squared summation ng gi, ei, e raised to negative ei over kt. So, this is quite difficult. We're gonna take the ratio of this one and this one. So, u over this, kaya meron tayong u over q times partial of ln ng q with respect to the constant volume is now equal to this all over this quantity. And then, luckily, ito yung magka-cancel siya. So, we have n over q all over 1 over kt squared. N over q all over 1 over kt squared can be written as n over q times kt squared over 1. That is why we have here n kt squared. May over q rin to sana. Ay, may q doon. May q dito. Magka-cancel na siya dyan. Kaya tinanggal ko na yung q. So, natira lang sa left hand side is u over partial ln q with respect to at constant volume is equal to n kt squared. Now, the question is, we need to write yung u. U is n kt squared times partial ln q with respect to at constant volume. So, this is the final form that you need to remember. Now, there is a simpler derivation ulit nandito. So, I'm allowing you, letting you to try to understand this first. So, itong first equation to, bakit ganito siya? We know that u is summation ng ni ei. Eh, ano to? Di u over n yan. U over n is summation ng pi ei. Itong u over n na to, this u is per molecule. Yun lang yung kaibahan niya. Or kung pwede rin per moles. So we know that u can be written as summation ng pi ei, and we know that the probability pi is 1 over q e raised to negative ei over kt, where q is the partition function, summation ng e raised to negative ei over kt. So, naulit lang pala dito. Now, papalitan natin itong PI dito. So, we have U, summation ng PI is this. That one. PIEI. U is summation ng 1 over Q e raised to negative EI over KT multiplied by EI. And nilabas ko itong 1 over Q kasi wala naman siyang I. Nandito na siya. So, kinulayan ko ito kasi gagamitin ko siya later. So, we know that the partition function is summation ng E raised to negative EI over KT. And yung derivative niyan is dq is E raised to negative EI over KT. Kung ang derivative is with respect to temperature, variable of differentiation is temperature, we will have du is, yung du niya ay magiging EI over KT squared. So, dapat may negative sign to. Ay, hindi. Tama. Mawawala na. Kasi magiging negative ng negative pala yun. So, pakita ko. Derivative ng e raised to negative EI over KT. That will give us e raised to negative EI over KT multiplied by the derivative ng negative EI over KT. Ang derivative na yan magiging negative EI over KT squared. Eh, may negative doon. Negative na negative is positive. Kaya tama pala to. So, what's next? Divide ko lang both sides by dt. So, dq over dt is summation ng e raised to negative EI over KT multiplied by EI over KT squared. And, nilabas ko lang tong KT squared. Nandito na siya sa labas ng summation sign. So, dq over dt is 1 over KT squared. Summation ng this EI is here. EI multiplied by E raised to negative EI over KT. And as we can see, ilalabas ko itong KT squared, lalagay ko siya sa left hand side. So, KT squared, parang multiply ko to by KT squared. KT squared, cancel siya dito. So, KT squared dq over dt is equal to summation ng EI multiplied by E raised to negative EI over KT. And then, as we can see, this one is equal to this. So, we can write U is 1 over Q. And this part, papalitan ko ng KT squared dq over dt. So, we can then write U is KT squared dl ng Q over dt kasi may Q dito and may dq dito. Pagsamahin ko sila, naging dl ng Q. So, U is KT squared dl ng Q over dt. So, this is what we got from here. And this is what we get in the previous equation, previous slide. So, they are equivalent except that ito ay for n particles. So, doon naman tayo sa internal energy. Paki-absorb muna itong nasa slide. So let's continue. Dito tayo sa enthalpy. H is U plus PV. That's the definition of enthalpy. So, since alam natin yung U is NKT squared partial ng L ng Q with respect to T at constant volume. And yung pressure, alam na natin, NKT partial ng L ng Q with respect to B at constant temperature multiplied by volume. So, therefore, yung enthalpy is now NKT, pinaka-out ko lang yung NKT times T partial L ng Q with respect to T at constant volume plus, inuna ko lang yung volume, plus B partial ng L ng Q with respect to T at constant temperature. So, Q is proportional to B. And for ideal gas, this term can be written as 1 over B na lang for ideal gas. So, for ideal gas, H is NKT multiplied by T, partial ng L ng Q with respect to T constant volume plus 1. So, doon naman tayo sa entropy. Entropy involves T in its definition. So, the calculation of the entropy and therefore the calculation of the Helmholtz energy and Gibbs energy depends upon whether the particles are indistinguishable. So, S is K ln ng omega, and we know that ln ng omega distinguishable is n ln ng n plus summation ng ni ln ng gi over ni. So, yung S distinguishable will just be K multiplied by this term. Pero gi over ni can be expressed in terms of Q. So nakuha natin ito kanina, gi over ni. So, gi over ni is Q over n e raised to negative ei over kt or n or Q over n e raised to ei over kt. So papatang ko lang tong part na to ng gi over ni. So, we will have S this is now K summation ng ni multiplied by ln ng nito. Dito na. Plus n ln n. N ln n still this part. So, K is pinaghiwalay ko lang tong dalawang term. So, summation. Ni ln Q over n plus ln e raised to negative ei over kt, yun lang yung nabago. And ln ng e, matanggal ng ln ng e, naging ei over kt na lang siya. So, we have S this is kn ln ng n ng Q over n. Saan ang galing to? So, this part is here. Saan ang galing to? Distribute ko lang tong summation doon at saka yung ni. We know the summation ng ni ei is u. Kaya we have u over kt. Saan naman ang galing to? Distribute ko tong summation saka ni dito. Pero ito wala siyang i, so lalabas lang siya. Magiging ln ng q over n summation ng ni. Ang summation ng ni is n. Kaya we have here n ln ng q over n. So I hope that's clear. So that equation in the previous slide. So what's next? Alam natin yung u. U is nkt squared partial ng ln ng q with respect to t. Yun lang yung nabago from this to this equation. So, what's next? Lahat sila may n. Nilabas ko lang yung n. So, we have nk, ln ng q over n. And then may t dito. Cancel. May k dito. Cancel. So, natira lang dito is t, partial ng ln ng q respect to t constant volume. Ito naman, ln n lang yung natira. And, pinag-iwalay ko to, naging ln ng q minus ln ng n. And may ln ka ng n dito. So, magka-cancel ito. Ito. Saka ito. So, what we have left is S this is nkt partial ng ln ng q respect to t at constant volume plus ln ng q. So, this the entropy distinguishable entropy if the particles are distinguishable. However, for ideal gas, the particles are indistinguishable. So we have to divide by n factorial, which is the number of ways n different objects can be permuted. So we also have here a simpler method of the derivation. So it's up to you whichever seems to be easier for you. So hindi ko na elaborate because this will just end up with the same result. Wala nga lang n. I'm trusting you to try the following derivations. And for distinguishable particles, entropy description for indistinguishable particles, this is applicable for gases. Ito yung final form. NKT multiplied by partial ln ng Q respective to cost of volume plus ln ng Q over n plus 1. So pag-aralan itong mga derivations na to. And here we also have yung definitions ng mga other thermodynamic variables in terms of the partition function. So this is for indistinguishable, and this is for distinguishable Helmholtz free energy. This is for distinguishable and indistinguishable Lorentz free energy. And the definition of chemical potential in terms of the partition function Q. So, ano nangyari? We now have a set of expression that relates yung mga thermo variables, thermo energy, relates it to partition function. So, if we know Q, we can solve for the thermodynamic energies. Pero, Q requires energy. Where do we get the energy? From Qm. Or from molecular dynamics. Or from classical mechanics. So that's our next lecture. We're going to talk about how to solve for E. Because it will provide yung missing link. So that's actually all for today's lecture. Meron kayong question? So for statistical mechanics, ang kailangan nyo tandaan is yung mga equation. And pag nabigay ako ng Q, you should be able to solve for the corresponding energy. Or let's say, you should be able to solve for the chemical potential. So kailangan memorize nyo yung mga forms ng formula. Yung mga final formula. Mas maganda kung kaya nyong pag-aralan yung derivations. Pero pag finals kasi, hindi naman nagpapaderive. So for take-home exams, yung last take-home exam nyo, a week before the finals. Or several days before the finals. Meron tayong take-home exam. Just to ensure na ready kayo to handle itong mga questions related to the following topics. So, expect to see questions related to statistics. Because statistical mechanics starts with some statistics, right? May question pa kayo, guys?